Whispers in the shadows, cowards on the prowl. They think they got the power, strutting loud and proud. Every dirty trick they play, I've seen it all before, but they can't break me. I'm Richard Moore.
Hello folks, Richard Moore, USAGSA. To talk a little bit about corruption begets corruption, especially if you're in Dirty South and its epicenter of corruption, which is in Lowndes County, Mississippi. Talk about a few things that need to be discussed. Before I jump into it, in the description of this video is my link tree, give you some of the links to some of the other platforms that we're on, including ways that you can support USAGSA. And we are 100% supported by our listeners, viewers, and followers, not by tax dollars. Now, if we had a platform of lies and memes and emojis, and we're on Facebook and being the fake media like WCBI and WTVA, Columbus, Tupelo, respectively, then that may be different. But it's your support that keeps us on the air and what we continue to do, and we will continue to do it relentlessly. Also, there's a link in there to my Substack, where I've written extensively about these corrupt programs, their tactics, people behind it, as well as giving voice to the voiceless. Now, I've got several things I want to talk about briefly. On July the 16th of this year, Columbus, Mississippi police officer Jeremy Harris crashed his patrol car. Said he had 5 people in the vehicle. And the report that he gave versus what actually happened turns out to be a lie. He subsequently submitted his resignation and is no longer with Columbus Police Department. And then I noticed on the news that WTVA and WCBI could not wait to do a broadcast and talking about a police officer that lied. Now, if that didn't shock me, it should have shocked everybody else that actually that would cross their lips. Well, let me tell you what, folks. Don't get these people confused with someone that may be involved in investigative journalism, because they're not. They're simply news readers. They simply read what they've been told to say. They're just sheeples in front of a camera talking to the very few people that are still able to sit there and stare at this lunatic program of WCBI and Channel 9, WTVA. Both of them pathetic. And then you have, of course, the birdcage liners of the Tupelo Daily Journal and the Columbus Dispatch, and they're simply going to parrot what the fake broadcast media is saying. It's just one parroting the other. They're all reading off the same page. I'm not reading that crap. And my viewers here are not reading that crap either. Well, okay, so we'll look at this deal with Jeremy Harris. Now, he's had a prior DUI or something like that. That's not here. He was at police working for the Columbus Police Department. And so what happened to this solidarity of this brotherhood of the big blue lie? They couldn't wait to say that the Lowndes County Sheriff's Department, aka Crooked Eddy Hawkins, the sheriff, submitted a 365-page scathing report about this police officer. 365 pages. Now, I hadn't read it. I can't imagine how much BS and fluff that's in that. And that's what the news reported on. Not 300, but 300 and more. There's more to come. Blah, 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 blah. Well, let's put a little context to this deal. You see, when the city of Columbus was short police chief, Crooked Eddy Hawkins, with some other people in a smoke-filled back room, tried to make a deal where he could incorporate and take over the police department and just be one metropolitan sting unit running the whole county. And they pushed back on that. You know, it takes all the legislators to get together to go down there and vote to change the law, let that shit happen. Can't just go in there and say, yeah, you can have it, Crooked Eddy. But Crooked Eddy really cares about the city of Columbus. That's why during this police chief shortage that he managed to do everything he could to hire away all the police officers away from the city of Columbus Police Department and put them on the Sheriff's Department. So we want to leave the police department short-staffed and leave them with some people that we may not need there, include people that may want to drink and drive and may want to do something they shouldn't be doing and make a lie up or tell a lie when they hit a telephone pole. And whose fault is that? Well, I'm going to put quick fix the blame with Crooked Eddy Hawkins. They're trying to put it on Jeremy Harris. Now, folks, this is the way it's been. This white privilege card will continue to get played in Lowndes County. And to get these coons that work for Crooked Eddy, they don't have any problem with it. Well, you just wait. When you do something that you shouldn't be doing, and you try to do it like the white police officers are doing, the white deputies are doing, don't expect to get the same treatment that the white officers get. Okay? Now, you being a coon, you should understand that. You're not going to get that. You're not white, you're a coon, and you have betrayed your own race and have cast your lot with this with a racist, money grabbing, political aspiration having crooked ass sheriff, Crooked Eddy Hawkins. Now, so we go back to August the 11th of 2024. What happened on that day? Does anybody remember? I'll refresh your memory. Traveling in Steens on Highway 12 was an 85-year-old great-grandmother, Sarah Jackson. And this is on a Sunday afternoon, and I believe it was on a Sunday afternoon, and two Lowndes County deputies were called to a very important and call there in that area. Come to find out, it was some teenage boy that was mad at his girlfriend, high on meth, out there kicking and cussing and screaming their car that was in their front yard. Now, of course, the whole community was alerted and scared to death that this boy that was kicking his car and cussing it might just drain over into the next neighborhood. He might kick somebody else's car. But either way, this is a domestic disturbance call, and they had to get out there. So their sirens on and all that. And they roll up behind this 85-year-old woman, and they're hogging the road. One of them blows by her. She's trying to get off the damn road. She knew what's going on. And because it created such a panic, you know, they've got all these bells and whistles and rocket launchers and hand grenades and tanks and all this other shit, and they are not going to be happy unless they get to use it. And so now they got a chance. They can go out there on this domestic disturbance call and hopefully beat the hell out of somebody or kill them or both. Like they did with that young man that was having a seizure, and they messed around. They called 911, and the deputies came out to the house on this medical emergency, and the boy was having a seizure. They beat him with an inch of his life and put him in his hospital. Okay, that's how they get down. I think people are learning, not just in Lowndes County, but across this country. If you've got an emergency, 911 may not be your best choice. It may be better off of calling maybe Domino's Pizza or somebody like that, and that and get more attention there, maybe more help on that. But calling 911, you're gambling. So Sarah Jackson is killed. She's T-boned and killed. Now, since then, how many officers or deputies have been held accountable for that? Zero. How many page reports has Crooked Eddy Hawkins submitted to the media about that deputy? Whatever story they told, we don't know if it's a lie or the damn truth. We have no idea. I'm pretty sure it was a damn lie. There was no 300. There was no 3-page report. There was nothing. They gave it to MBI, and MBI does like MBI always does. Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is they are going to back the play of the crooked sheriff every time in every county, every city in the state of Mississippi. And we've got that thanks to Lynn Fitch and her flunky, Sean Tyndall. And you can rest assured, if you're in law enforcement in the state of Mississippi and you want to murder somebody or rape inmates, then that's perfectly okay. We're going to act like we don't like it. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be held accountable. You'll still get to be a police and have that badge and a gun and continue to wreak havoc on the citizens of this state. So I just find that alarming that 85-year-old Sarah Jackson was killed, recklessly killed, while these other imbeciles were trying to get to a scene where some doped up kid was kicking a damn car. I think that's way more of a bigger deal than it is with this. He's going out and he wrecked his car and he told the story different. Like all of a sudden, Crooked Eddy Hawkins has got a problem with law enforcement telling lies. I mean, if that ain't the pot calling the kettle black, really? This is the same Crooked Eddy and the same sting unit, the same gaggle of investigators and people like Jeff Edmondson that with a straight face get in a courtroom under oath and lie, put perjured testimony on the stand, knowing it's perjured testimony, knowing it's a lie. And because they hate the Constitution, they hate free speech, they all swore an oath to uphold and protect it. But the truth is, folks, actions speak louder than words. They hate it. They hate me. I could sit here and publish something about something deplorable. Next thing you know, they're going down there and getting a warrant. He's stalking me. And they can't wait to go take and run with these continuous barrage of bullshit charges against somebody that dare speak up and tell it like it is. Well, I'm going to keep doing that, boys and girls. Period. That's what I'm here for, and that's what I'm going to remain here for. That's the deal. And then you've got folks like this drunk. He got, I don't know how many DUIs he's had, how many runs, how many times they slapped him on the wrist. And finally, he got on out of the way, and that's Randy Robels. And now he's with some kind of private investigator, recon, private investigating shit. And he is nothing but a troll. His ex-wife, I forget this gal's name. Just man, I tell you what her name is. Everybody know what her name is. Melinda, and Melinda operating under the moniker as Juicy, and Juicy is nothing but a stalking freak that does nothing but troll social media and stalk people that expose corruption. That's Juicy's job, Melinda's job. And of course, Randy Robels does the same. Randy Robels didn't have any problems contacting other people and telling them and warning them about sharing content that exposes corruption, saying, and I quote, "You're going to end up just like Rebecca Baumgardner if you keep this up." And who is Rebecca Baumgardner? She's the YouTuber that got 24 mandatory years in the penitentiary on a completely 100% manufactured, made up crime that is still under investigation by the Department of Justice, and I feel satisfied that the people that were complicit in this eventually will have to answer for it. This includes, but it's not limited to, the sheriff, the judge, prosecutor Scott Colom, assistant prosecutor Ben Rush, and the attorneys involved, Jim Wade, and so forth, involved in this deal, all worked in concert to make sure that they had an ironclad case of locking somebody up and throwing away the key because they dare speak out and speak the truth. She's not going to do the 24 mandatory years, ladies and gentlemen. She's been there about 3 years, which is 3 years too long. And we expect her to be vindicated. When? I can't answer that. We pray that it's sooner than later. There's several things in the till about this. Even when Scott Colom and how he's going to run for senator, he's going to try to give Cindy Hyde Smith because she's not right for Mississippi. Well, I can tell you one thing, Scott Colom, you damn sure ain't right for Mississippi. You're Biden's pick. We get this straight, folks. That's Biden's pick, and Scott Colom. And before I ever heard the name of Scott Colom, there's been a crooked Colom down there in Columbus. I don't know if there any kin. Y'all can let me know about that. But there's another one named John Colom, got a junkyard or a salvage business that's been involved in crimes and underhanded shit for the last 20 years. I don't know if there's any relation there, but I can tell you one thing. I'm quite sure they're related. He's not talking about that. Scott Colom's not talking about it. He's talking about got a 94% conviction. I guess you do have a 94 conviction right there. I wouldn't be bragging about that, because if everybody's lying and getting on the same damn page using fabricated evidence and everything is made up and we're trying to make it look like everybody's getting due process when they're not getting due process, you should have 100%. Even when the deal's fixed, you can't even get 100%. You can only get 94% when the deal, you can screwing up a steel ball there, Scott. No, you're not right for Mississippi. Does the rest of Mississippi know? Do they realize that your proclivity to lie under oath? The oath that you took and what you're saying is being a damn lie. Why all of a sudden should anybody cast a vote for a certified liar? Scott Colom is a certified liar. That's a fact. Look at his Brady complaints. Go to the National Brady list and look at the complaints, okay? Don't take my word for it. I'm not the only one that absolutely knows this to be an unmitigated fact. That's a fact. But for some reason, Lowndes County loves it. Not the fact that they've got one of the hottest strip joints in the state of Mississippi or the biggest dildo warehouse in the state of Mississippi. They've also got the most corrupt judicial system in the state of Mississippi. And it's these people that are just clamoring for news, clamoring for attention, and clamoring to try to get elected to some kind of damn position. And we're not going to have any part of that. And so you've got that mentality of Randy Robels and Crooked Eddy Hawkins and Scott Colom and the rest of this gaggle of pathetics down there that absolutely hate the Constitution. They hate God. They hate the fabric of this nation. While they go to their fake church or their fake theology, real people that have real problems need to have people in positions of trust and responsibility and power that they can trust. They are not oath breakers. They'll just give speeches, but we have true blind justice for everybody, equality for everybody, not for those, and some rules apply to just them and the rest applies to those. It's us and them. This two-tiered system is BS. I think we should turn a page on this dirty South politics because it's more of the same. Unless somebody speaks up and speaks out, folks, it's not going to get any better. This is the drip, drip, drip of the gonorrhea of the deep state right now in your backyard. So stay tuned, folks. Until next time, God bless you.
Whispers in the shadow Cowards on the prowl think they got the power, strutting loud and proud. Every dirty trick they play, I've seen it all before, but they can't break me. I'm Richard Moore. They hate me, stalk me, try to shut me down.